So this is it. Dragon Ball Daima episode 18, Awakening. So here's what we're going to do. This review is going to have a non-spoiler thumbnail for a few hours so that people who have not seen the episode can catch up in case they get it in their notifications. And then I'll be changing it in a few hours because a lot of big stuff went down in Dragon Ball Daima episode 18. If you don't want to hear me talk about it, click off, come back after you've seen the episode. But we need to go ahead and discuss this because I've been talking about episode 18 now, going back months and discussing February and how there's big stuff coming, that people were going to be talking about it. Yeah, it's happened. It has happened, and seeing it play out was definitely something I won't forget for quite some time. We'll be streaming tonight around 6 p.m., so make sure you're there and we'll talk much more about it. But I want to give you my review for episode 18 of Dragon Ball Daima, Awakening. In last week's episode, everybody left over. Goku, Piccolo, Vegeta, Ku and Du, Tamagami 1, Glorio, and Supreme Kai all were battling King Goma with the third eye, who was just embarrassing them with his power. The episode ends with Goku tapping into Super Saiyan 3 for the first time in Dragon Ball Daima, and now the serious fight begins. So we're going into spoilers now. Last warning, here we go. So the episode begins with Super Saiyan 3 Goku against Goma, and at first his hits are actually connecting. Goma seems a bit flustered as he's going in there. While the fight's going on, Tamagami 1 and Majin Du also decide to help out because Goku on his own ain't gonna do it. Now, Vegeta, I'm over here wondering, like, okay, why isn't Vegeta going Super Saiyan 3? But they do cut to him at one point and he's all beaten up. So he might not have the energy to do that at this point. Now, Goku is fighting, Goma, and like I said, he's doing okay. Like he's doing a bit better than he was before. But then what ends up happening is that third eye activates. Anytime Goma's in trouble, he taps into the power of that third eye, and it saves him. Now, at one point, Majin Ku says he wants to help out his brother, so he throws him a chocolate chip cookie because remember, Majin Du loves to eat chocolate, and that gives him power. So he eats it, and then he literally tries to mimic Goku's Super Saiyan 3. He powers up, and when he powers up, like the yellow part of his head stretches backwards like Super Saiyan 3, so it looks like he's got long hair. Like it looks like he's got like long spiky hair or whatever, like Super Saiyan 3. So they stand next to each other, and this is all, it's not all played up for comedy, but it just makes you realize that Majin Du is one of those characters that I feel like with proper training could actually be a real menace. Kind of like how Goku saw Kid Buu and said, well, I you were annoying and you were evil, but I could probably use somebody with this kind of power to train and to work with. And that's why he was reincarnated as Oob by asking King Yema for a favor. So my point is that Majin Du, I don't know if he's actually tapping into the power of Super Saiyan 3, but he definitely got stronger. And all three of them are in there, and everyone's jumping in to do the best they can. But then, even before the commercial break, we have our big moment. So Goma powers up the third eye and fires this huge laser out of his eye, and it's just destroying everything. He charges in and he steps on Goku, straight up just steps on his legs and just starts punching him and knocking him around, just smashing him. Also, I should mention that earlier in the episode, I think Goma actually said that he thinks that Super Saiyan 3 is some kind of magic. But anyways, so he blasts Goku, and Goku's down. I mean, he's in Super Saiyan 3, but he's down. So Goma puts his arm up and starts to charge this big, prism pink power blast. Think about like Frieza's like planetary destroyer blast with the big orange ball. Think about something like that, except it's like purple. You know, and most of you who have seen the episode, you know what I'm talking about. Just this big, huge blast of magic energy. Then what happens is Nebba steps in front of Goku. The most powerful sorcerer maybe in the history of Dragon Ball after this episode appears in front of Goku and puts his arm out. And he fires like some kind of energy into Goku. Now, we saw him do this with Tamagami 2. Initially, I think many of us thought that it was just something that he could do with the Tamagamis because he created the Tamagamis and thus he's able to upgrade them. But apparently, the Tamagamis aren't the only, beings he can upgrade. So he fires this blast into Goku, and we have this like psychedelic moment. And what ends up happening is he taps, it appears like based on the imagery, the magic power taps into Goku's biology because it seems to go deep inside of his sort of like his central nervous system, and he begins to mutate. His Super Saiyan 3 hair flickers and turns magenta. His tail grows back. It seems like, and again, we don't have full information on this yet, but it seems like Nebba is tapping into his instincts as a Saiyan while also using magic to harness that. Goku mutates and we witness the return of Super Saiyan 4. Now, I've been holding on to this since the late summertime. I've been asked on streams about it, and I've tried to, not go into it. I even said it was a new form because it is a new form. This is not the same Super Saiyan 4. The Super Saiyan 4 from GT, it was a mutation from the Golden Great Ape and high amounts of Brutes waves, or Blutz waves, whichever way you want to pronounce it. That was a totally different type of transformation than this. This is like a magic-based Super Saiyan 4. Totally different. Nebba is like insanely OP, bro. But anyways, this happens. Goku grows the fur. He looks pretty much the same as he used to, except that his arms are a little bit bigger, like his forearms, and the hair is more magenta than black. So maybe a bit more like how Gogeta SS4 looked. A lot of people's favorite form returned in Dragon Ball Daima with Toriyama's touch. Super Saiyan 4 is back, and we got a brand new merch line, just like the Gohan merch from a couple years ago, Then Now Forever, except here it's Then Now Forever. Comes in multiple sizes and multiple colors and ships almost anywhere in the world. Get yours today. These are just dropping hot today, brand new. Limited edition. The link is in the description. Do not miss out on getting your hands on the Then Now Forever merch line, courtesy of the store. Let's get back to it now. This is the moment that I think people are going to be talking about. I had some people ask if they thought I was going to crash the internet like Ultra Instinct. No, I don't think so, because when Ultra Instinct happened, that was almost 10 years ago. It was 8 years ago. And the servers for Crunchyroll have been upgraded since then. So I do not see that happening. And Daima doesn't really have the build-up. Like, you have to remember, with UI, they built that up for months and months and months. We heard it being called Limit Breaker and all that. We named it that. A lot of the fans did. Right? This, I think, there were rumors, and I kept telling people, like, episode 18 is a big one, but it wasn't like it was promoted by Toei. So yeah, we have Super Saiyan 4. Then we have one of the craziest battles damn near ever visually. This Goku goes in there and starts going back and forth with with Goma. Goma fires that big blast he was building up, which actually turns orange. Like, now it does look like Frieza's move. And I'm sure it was probably a tribute to it. I would assume so. Goku manages to use his power to push it away, and it sort of cuts back, and we see Goku just looking great, looking awesome. And interestingly enough, his gi, He doesn't have a top on, just like traditional Super Saiyan 4, but he's got the pants on, but they're more yellowish, kind of like Super Saiyan 4, the original design, and that's probably because of the magic energy. Like, the whole thing here is that to rewrite Super Saiyan 4, which is the same thing Toriyama did with Broly and other things in the past, you know, they had to come up with a new way of doing it. I'm going to go more into all of this in my breakdown video because there's a lot of information about Daima and about Super Saiyan 4, and I couldn't talk about it until now because it sort of goes into what the plan was for Daima and what they're going to do. Also, I know the question's going to come up about 100 times. Why didn't he not use it against Beerus? Well, first of all, more happens in this episode later on. I'm going to get to it in a minute, but also there's still 2 episodes left of Daima, and just be patient is what I'm saying. Like, let's let this thing play out, and the next couple of weeks, there's more surprises coming. This is not the only surprise. Also, I want to make this clear that according to the internal documents, according to what it's being called internally, it's still being referred to as Super Saiyan 4, or at least that's what it was as of the production of Daima. They may change the name. I don't know as of this recording, right? Because I'm recording this after the episode aired, so I don't know if they're going to rename it something else, but internally it was called Super Saiyan 4. But again, it's not the same one as in GT. It just looks very similar. Then Goku in SS4 starts to smash Goma up. He's clearly gotten a huge boost in power. But it's not enough because Goma taps into that third eye again and knocks SS4 Goku away. So it's a big battle, it's a big schmoz, and Goma's still not going down because of that incredible might, that incredible power of that third eye. There's an amazing sequence here where Goma just throws everything but the kitchen sink at Goku, and he's like dodging and blasting through stuff, and it has to be seen to be believed. Go out of your way to see it if you haven't. So the others are watching the fight and they see that Goku, even with this new form, is having trouble. So they all jump in, like Do and everybody else tries their best, even though they're tired, to go in there and help Goku. And they're blasting Goma from all sides, but again, he powers up. That purple, white energy around him knocks everything else away. Goku goes in and delivers some big shots, punches Goma in the face, top of the head kicks him. I mean, he's going in, bro. I mean, he's getting him some, you know what I'm saying? There's one part where they sort of color them red and blue. Very cool stuff. And he's just smashing Goma, knocking him around. He ends up knocking Goma on his ass. So even though they haven't beat him yet, they're getting closer and closer. They're inching their way to victory. So then Glorio sees Goku and does this incredible power-up. Glorio, that's right, Glorio of all guys, powers up. Piccolo starts to power up. Goma, of course, is fine, but then Goku begins charging up his Kamehameha, and he fires the Kamehameha, and at first, it's kind of like a blue, like traditional Kamehameha beam, but it sort of changes into this sort of flaming Kamehameha. Now, it's not the same thing as the Kamehameha times 10 from GT. It's not the same thing. It doesn't look the same. The whole scene is just visually stunning, and it looks like Goma's gone. But no, the third eye activates once again, and he starts to come out of this sort of purple smoke area. Goma comes out of this, and now he's actually gigantic. I mean, like, now he is massive. Like, bigger than a great ape, or at least close to it. Let's say close to it. Just a big, like, Cell Max, like the giant size. If you play Sparking Zero, he's giant sized. He ends up knocking Super Saiyan 4 Goku away, and then uses his magic to pick him up and actually start to reverse his power. This is like something Moro did, where he's holding him and we see Super Saiyan 4 sort of reversed into 3, then reversed into 2 and 1. It might have just been 1, and then back to base. So he cancels Goku's Super Saiyan transformations. So Rinsu calls Glorio over to get the Dragon Balls. So the 3 Dragon Balls are gathered, and out comes Porunga, the demonic original dragon from the Demon Dragon Balls. As we reported all the way back in September, it's basically a red Porunga. It has the same color scheme as the Black Star Dragon from GT, but it's got the Porunga look. It just looks just like Porunga except red. So then something kind of shocking happens. Goma tries to attack Porunga, and Porunga puts his hand up and knocks him away. That is something. And here's why that's something, because the dragons in and of themselves are not supposed to be that physically powerful. In OG Dragon Ball, Demon King Piccolo killed Shenron. He destroyed the dragon with one shot. So the fact that this dragon's able to knock Goma away tells me that this is not your ordinary dragon. This is probably, based on everything we've seen, either this one or obviously the Super Dragon Ball's dragon, this is probably the most powerful eternal dragon of all, just based on that feat alone. So the big teaser now going into the next episode is, what will Glorio wish for? Because they sort of did a thing where Glorio was thinking like, you know, do I really want to help out this woman, Arinsu? Because these people, so he kind of, it's the kind of we talked about months ago about how Glorio's gonna have to make a decision. Like, it's almost like he doesn't really want to work with Arinsu anymore because he understands that Goku and the others are right now just getting pummeled by Goma, and he also understands that that this is the real crisis now. It's not about Arinsu's, you know, plot. It's more about getting everybody safe, because with this problem with Goma, the demon realm might be in trouble. So basically, that's the cliffhanger. What an episode, man. This was all like a TV version of like Gogeta Broly, in the sense of like lots of animation, lots of incredible just, you know, movements, fluidity. The Super Saiyan 4 transformation was crazy. Nebba is so OP as a magic user that I don't even know, like, dude, why don't they bring him along? Why don't they bring Nebba along? But again, these questions like, why doesn't Goku use it against Beerus? And that one right there, why doesn't Nebba just join the crew and help them unlock their powers or something? All of that. We got 2 episodes left, yo. So they got to wrap everything up, and we got more surprises. There are more surprises coming in Dragon Ball Daima, but this was the big one, the one that's going to get people talking. People wanted Super Saiyan 4 to come back, and they wanted Toriyama to write for it. Well, it's here. Let's see where we go with the next episode. But it was a thumbs up episode. Eventful stuff actually happened. Important stuff. Let's see where the story goes. I'll be back tonight live, and also Sunday I'll be live, plus my breakdown tomorrow. Do not miss that. Take care of yourselves. I'll catch you soon, friends.